Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome everybody, guys. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin market as usual on Monday. So on the daily chart we do not see something really new, so no special information is provided by the daily because you can see that almost the whole week market was standing inside of this minor candle. So you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4 sessions in a row. It was very tight trading range, so no activity was shown on the Bitcoin market mostly the whole previous week. From that standpoint, it's not much to talk about currently on the cryptocurrency, but on the intraday charts there are some important moments exist that we need to discuss. On the daily chart, I just remind you that we have long-term bearish trend, and after this sell-off that has happened here, you can see the price action, almost the whole month stands inside of the range of this collapse, and we could say that it mostly stands in the bottom part, is in the lower part of this collapse. So very gradual and slow pullback here, and this action looks bearish. So because market shows no thrusting upward action, choppy and slumpy price action, mostly a lot of flat fragments in this motion, so it definitely has the features of the retracement. So we do not see any acceleration of this kind. So where the acceleration happens, minor retracement. Acceleration, no retracement, and upward action again. So this mostly looks like the retracement of this drop. And in general, as we said many times already, the market to break this tendency has to move above this top. So it needs to break the tendency on the high lows and lower lows and lower highs. Only in this case we could increase the scale and take a look at the broader picture and wider picture and see what will happen, how the situation is changing on a daily chart. But currently, while market stands mostly on inside swings, it has no impact on the larger time frame. The same story on the weekly, so we're still watching for a downward continuation here. So in general, on the daily chart, we're still monitoring the possible ABCD retracement and the kind of the Gartler's triple twos that could appear on the daily charts. Probably downward action should follow after that. On the intraday charts, guys, we have some interesting moments that we need to take a look at. So on the 4-hour time frame chart, recall what we have talked about overall upward action here. So we have two extensions on the intraday charts with this upward retracement. So in general, you can see it's a pretty nice channel is forming. So we have initial A, B, C bottom. Market hits OP retracement. Now it comes to the XOP. XOP target has not been hit yet. It's 40.85. So market hasn't quite reached it. Also, we have larger, this blue line, ABCD, AB equals CD pattern. And its target also stands at the same point, 80.45. 48.85. So that's why a logical expectation in the current situation that market should hit it before retracement, and it will complete the Gartner's triple to sell pattern on a daily. That would be a perfect scenario if it will be completed. But right before the target, you can see market has dropped, and now is forming some kind of retracement or flat action that looks really weak. At the same time, two possible scenarios are here exist. So first of all is this butterfly still could be formed, and that it could finalize this overall action if we will see some kind of acceleration, because as you understand, the Bitcoin market right now is unpredictable, and it very often happens very volatile sessions just by some news, some events that has happened. It's almost impossible to foresee. For example, this collapse, it just has happened on some news event, and so it was especially after this rally that has happened before. It was absolutely unexpected action. So here is as well. So although the overall price action looks bearish, we can't exclude totally the chance of the butterfly. From that standpoint, these lows are very important. So that is 39.15 area, because breaking through these lows and coming lower, market will erase the chance on the butterfly, and it will mean that upward action probably is over, and we should be ready for a downward continuation here. That's why this point is very important. Alternative scenario on the 4-hour time frame chart, if market will not be able to complete the butterfly, here we have also this kind of action. So this is a kind of the diamond consolidation is forming, but it's not this pattern is important. What is important is that A, B, C, D pattern on inside of this collapse. So this is what we have talked about on the previous week. Because I remind you that on the hourly chart we have the hand shoulders that we have discussed on last week, and we said keep an eye on the possible pullback. If market will form here, regardless, cheap will to sell, will form the right top here. This will be a chance to go short. But take a look what really has happened. Market wasn't able to form any clear significant ABC retracement, except maybe this one minor retracement has been formed. So market just has hit the 618 resistance area on 40 even and starts dropping. At the same time, guys, the manner how market is moving lower doesn't correspond to idea of the hand shoulders, especially after the collapse on the bottom of the head. So normally here hand shoulders should show the acceleration. This is just how this pattern works, because in this part of the pattern, bears controls the market, and the more and more sellers step in and increase the pace which market shows to the downside. But here we do not see this kind of action. We see gradual downward action, very slow, and it makes me think that maybe the upward action is not over yet. So chances on the A, B equals CD action still exist. I'm not sure that we will get definitely the butterfly, but the kind of action that I show you on this chart is very probable. So we could still get the action to the 40 even, complete the top, the shoulder of this pattern, and here this will be important moment. So market should turn to the downside. If this will not happen, be prepared to the butterfly and upward continuation to the 40.85. So it sounds a bit complicated, sophisticated, but when you're dealing with some consolidation where a lot of different patterns could be formed, this is normal analysis. So how we could trade this? So if you would like to take the short position, I would suggest the two possible scenarios. First is a breakout of these lows. So if market somehow will break it down and starts dropping, then try to take the position on some pullback, retracement, and go short. Maybe you could even try to step in by the stop entry order. You could place stop sell order below these lows. When it will be broken, you will step in. So that's the one possible way. Second scenario, wait the completion of the ABCD pattern here. So 40 even is probably the point where you could try to go short, because based on the action that we have here, the chances on the butterfly are not significant. So maybe only by some rumors or some news or some external driving factor it is possible. Ultimately, if you're very careful and you do not want to take the position before this target will be hit, in this case, wait for the butterfly. So, or for a clear signs that it will be failed. So either drop below the A point or completion of the butterfly. Use the butterfly for taking the short position. So some scenarios. For the bulls, it's a difficult situation because overall context stands bearish. You probably, well, if even market will take it out 40 even, it will be too small room to the final target, and it will be not very attractive for taking the long position here. So for the bulls, there's not much to trade. Maybe only if you would like to take the bet, you could try to take the position here with the stops somewhere below the C point or below A. Well, in this case, maybe it might make sense, but this is very weak context for trading. Personally, I would not take the position here by this context. For bulls, probably exist only the larger scale. You need to keep an eye on a daily chart and see a possible breakout here when the context, overall context will change. because currently on the intraday charts it's a bit late for taking a position because the potential is not really very significant. As I said, only maybe trying to trade on this ABCD pattern. That's all. And in general, bears currently have more chances to trade and better choice for different actions. So you could take the position differently, you could follow different patterns. So that's been said, that's the story around the Bitcoin market right now. But in general, guys, if we will ignore this inside on intraday charts tactical mess that we are talking about here, the situation stands relatively simple. We are waiting for end of this retracement and starting of the downward action here. So that's what we'll be watching for in general on the Bitcoin market.